Alright, welcome to podcast number 11, where we finish our trip to Japan and sit down and speak with Miyajima. For anyone who's unfamiliar with Miyajima, there's plenty of videos out there, but for the good stuff, you gotta dig deep. Besides the stuff on YouTube, he posts plenty of stuff both on Twitter and his podcasts and streams on Fresh TV. So if you check those comments on his Instagram or one of these things, you'll see there's lots of innovative scratchers on there kind of commenting in awe. So yeah, he's been a backbone of the Japanese scratch scene for more than a decade, with teaching a lot of young and old people over all that time. I think this guy literally only scratches, and he keeps going and going, so he's scratching every day for a good most of the day. He's really got so many styles, so many different ways of flowing, and like his combos that, I don't know, scratching with him is kind of like entering a warehouse full of exciting toys. Like, you turn a corner or you like pull back a box and there's some new technique that'll give you something to think about for years. Yeah, really mind-blowing stuff. So I headed over to a scratch layer armed with a bag of beers, and as I'd been traveling with my family mostly for a few months before that, I hadn't really drank anything besides a few beers at dinner here or there, so these boys can drink. So from beers, Suntory highballs to sake, kind of when we took a break from cutting, I think I was already past the drunk line, and then we decided to start recording the podcast. So by the end of the podcast, after drinking sake through the whole thing, I could really feel it running through my veins, and it's kind of cringy to hear myself like that, but you know, it is what it is. So we were joined by a group of friends, some to help out with some translation and give some insights into the scratch scene. So I was real thankful to have DJ Lon, DJ Sai, of course Miyajima, Uishi, and DJ Dami there. And DJ Sai, he had previously worked for Vestax, so he was involved with some of their events and marketing. So it was really good to hear from him about kind of Vestax and just the company itself and the impact they had on the Japanese scratch culture. I don't even remember leaving that evening. I was so heavy on the alcohol, but I did make it home for an hour and a half train journey with a few stops. And I remember buying grilled salmon onigiri from Lawson's at 2 a.m. in the corner store outside of my hotel. So I think it had more of a brown out than a black out. But yeah, lots of alcohol on an untrained head. So either way, I had a great time. It was an amazing time, and definitely a true tick off the bucket list. So for the So for the performance video, I went with some old footage from 2003. I just wanted to show something that was quite old, but still extremely advanced. It's Miyajima scratching, and it's from a documentary called Scratching the Surface, Japan. It was a documentary put out about the Japanese hip-hop scene, so there's like scratching, rapping, graffiti, breaking, in 2003. And I'll throw the links to that, his streams, Instagram and his Twitter, and some relevant, interesting videos. Please support him, follow his streams, follow all of his stuff. I think with Google Chrome, you can easily navigate any other language sites with the auto translate. And there's a wealth of insights and videos on there. He's extremely active on Twitter, though. And that freshlive.tv, he gets down on there all the time. So yeah, and as always, please help support the podcast. Download the free Playground app and give it a try. You got so many dope beats, so much fun music to play with. And this summer, we'll see lots of releases from new producers and scratch heads as well. And if you happen to be at Sample Music Festival or Community Scratch Barbecue this summer, make sure to say what's up. I should have some stuff to give away. So that's it for now. I do have loads of footage of the scratch session because we scratched for hours before and after the podcast. So I'll probably just slap that all together and put it up in one big video at a later time. There's lots of gold in there, from some ballers on the cut. So that's it. Thanks and enjoy. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, we have it. First question. Who's started scratching first? Who was the first scratcher out of this group? I'm guessing it might be you, but it also might be you. And it might be you. Who was the first scratcher?
最初にスクラッチを始めたのは何年ぐらいかって。
ああ、23 years
Yeah, so probably you. Yeah,
西
yeah.
暦で言うと
西暦で言うと、1996、
1996.
あ
You started.
1999.
And then who's next?
1998
8, 9. When did you start?
僕は
It's okay to say it in Japanese, but I think you speak English good, so say it in
英
English.
語でも。
今いつからスクラッチをやってるかっていう話
そう
をしてるんですよね。
何年かということですね。
3 years old.
3 years ago.
Yes.
This asshole. And what about you?
2000。
Okay, so let me start. Actually, I should have started this. Say your name, your DJ name, and we go down the line. Everybody say their DJ name.
My name is Lan.
Lon,
My name is Sai Sai Sai
Sai,
Yeah
宮島。
Miyajima,
ゆういち。
Yuichi,
ドミ。
Domi. All right, so there we go. Everybody remember those names. Don't forget it. Okay, so we have the oldest scratcher. So let me start with you because you're the oldest. Before
Japanese
you,
legend.
but I clearly everybody knows. You don't have to say it. Everybody knows. So before you started scratching, what was the thing that? Where did you start? You think with scratching? How did you get introduced, or how did you start with scratching? Like who maybe let you try a turntable, or where would your idea come to try to scratch, or how did this start?
誰に影響を受けたか的な。
そうそうそうインスパイアされたって。
ロブ・スウィフト&キューバート&ディスタイルズ。
Yeah. So without any translation, he saw D Styles and was inspired by it. Yeah,
Yes,
like
yes,
a million people. But I
Okay.
understand that very
Okay,
well.
okay.
Without translation, I get it. Yeah, so that's what he said. Right. And but what year do you think that was that you saw D Styles? What year do you think you saw him? And when did you? Do you remember what it was that you saw? Like what video or what thing you saw specifically?
ということだ。
何年ぐらいにその D とかを見た。
99 or 2000。
Yeah.
うん。
But you were scratching before that.
ということということ。
But he was scratching before that, no? So
スクラッ
then,
チする前か。
what was the entry to scratching?
スクラッチする前にその D とかを見たって。
ああ、ノーノーノーノー。スクラッチ、してから。
アフタースクラッチン
アフタースクラ
グ。いい
ッチ。
そう。
ごめんね。
いいスタイルですね。
頼むわ。
Right, but what introduced him to scratching? Like, how did he enter the scratching? You know what I mean? Because someone had to show him, or he had to let somebody had to let him try a mixer and a turntable. Who was it, or how did this happen? Maybe you can translate it for him. Like, how did he first try scratching?
ああ、最初に。
The very origin, the very first time he tried it.
あー
How did this
ファーストタイム
happen?
ね。ベイビー&チャップ。
Baby and the Chirp.
ベイビーオンリーね。
However, who let him try a chirp? Like, how did he get his hands on a turntable and a mixer? Can you translate it for me?
One more?
Like, how did he even try a mixer? Like, who gave him?
あ
Like, how did it start? The very first
あ、
time
最初
you
に使っ
touch it.
た。
How did this happen?
さんは
ベスタックス。
I'm gonna go ahead and
ベス
steal
タッ
it.
クス。ベスタックス。
But who give him? Who let him? Like, who was the person who gave him the opportunity to try a scratching, or how did he first want to try?
ああ、誰に影響されては違う。こうどうやって始めたかみたいな。
師匠みたいな
うん。
だとか
あー
Can you remember?
師匠いた。師匠いた。どう言えばいいんだ。My teacher
Mm. Shishuita.
teach me.
But who is the teacher?
フレンド。
うん。
What's the name?
吉田。
Yoshida.
そうそう
吉田
And DJ name was Yoshida or
吉田
DJ Yoshida? And what year? What year was this? What
何
year?
歳かってことじゃない
ああ17
When you were 17 years old.
17吉田
Yeah, yeah.
宮島16
So you meet Yoshida. How you already knew Yoshida? You meet him at a party, or you know him before?
なんだろ
And then Yoshida's scratching,
うなスカッチ
and you see, you're like, yeah, I want to try it.
うん
And he teach you chirp
うん
and one-click flare.
ワンクリック
Or flare
のもうベイビー
Oh, baby, sorry, baby and shrimp.
ベイビーオンリー
And this is what year? What year is this? What year is this?
なんだって YM なんつってる
何歳か
あ何歳17 or 16
And what? That's 1990.
6 or 7
1996. Because I know from you, DMC 2007.
7ね
So 10 years
うん
happen. What happens between 2000 or 1996 and 2007? How does your progression happen? Like, you're only studying with this one guy? He's teaching you, or how are you learning between this time and DMC?
ビデオ
Yeah, yeah. But what video? Like Turntable TV.
TV
So you're just watching Turntable TV. Okay, they're doing the scratch. I try to make the scratch.
Yes yes
All the way till DMC.
どういうことだ
いつも DMC を目指してたのか
あ
Because
no DMC
It's a big period. So when you start scratching, 1996, what happens next? You're DJing maybe in clubs, or you're doing anything like this, or you're just scratching.
スクラッチスクラッチスクラッチ only
Only scratching. Okay. And then when did you? What was the next step? Like, did you start teaching? Because I know you're a teacher.
Yes
I know you're teaching, but when did teaching start?
メトリックス買ってから
いつ始めたか知らない
2003
Before DMC.
before DMC
And when you started teaching, like, were you? How did this start? Like, were you teaching just in a school, a specific school, or just yourself here, or how did you become a teacher? Like, did you just make some flyers, or how was this? How did this start?
フライヤー
Yeah, flyers.
フライヤー
And because I see a lot of Japanese scratch from like 2000, from my Western perspective, from videos only. I see a lot of like 2003, 2002 till now. But before this, I don't see anything. I don't know what's happening. No idea what's going on in Japan. So what is the scratch scene like from 1996 to 2000? Like, is there a lot of people scratching? Because Vestax was big, I think. Vestax was huge. Like, I was buying Vestax in 1997, 98 in Texas, you know? So it must have been huge in Japan, right? I imagine it is. So, like, I guess what was the scratch scene like for you in Tokyo in 1998? Was there lots of people? Was there lots of events? Like, how was it? I don't know. If you can give me like a long...
F40 ISP X-Men
Yeah, please. Anybody
Just right.
want to? Yeah. So there was lots of things going on, lots of events. Was there local battles happening? Because I know, of course, of DMC, you know, ITF, blah, 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 Vestax battles. But was there also, like, Japan-only battles?
Vestax no tricks DJ battle
No, those leaks DJ battle only scratching. 1
Right.
minute, one tema battle record. Include beat you can use
Yeah.
and change the beat or まずなんだろうな好きなビート。
Only freestyle scratch
Yeah, only freestyle scratching.
Yeah.
And when did DMC first enter Japan? Because I don't know, to be honest.
DMC は、
When was your first Japanese DMC? Do you guys know?
GMOC?
う
うんん。アリ
Tashi?
early 90?
うん
Early 90s.
Early 90s, right?
Mm.
I've seen like, yeah, I think I've seen like 93, 92 videos, I feel like.
92 DJ Tashi.
Mm.
Tashi, yeah. And he was from Tokyo, Tashi?
Yeah.
Is he still scratching? No, probably not.
Yeah, he's still DJing
In general.
for work.
Yeah, doing lots of travel, DJ. Yeah. I see. So then, I don't know, like if you think about the 90s scratch scene in Japan,
うん
what was it like? Like it seems like there's probably a lot of people. Because Vestax, in my mind, Vestax was huge in the Western countries, so therefore, in the headquarters of fucking Tokyo, it must be like crazy big.
うん
But I don't know, like, was it really big in Japan? Scratching? Like, I don't know.
Vestax is 94 Lillehammer Olympic. Vestax very huge.
Yeah.
Next 98 DJ competition
Right.
ISP X-Men
Yeah.
came Japan.
Yeah.
99 ISP X-Men Scratch Perverts
Right.
came Japan. 2000 2002 2003 the max level Vestax.
The highest level.
Yeah.
うん
Yeah.
This is big.
I should say he worked for Vestax. By the way,
Yeah.
just when did you work for Vestax?
2002 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years
Okay.
about
And what were you doing at Vestax?
retailing.
Yeah.
なんだろうな、企画なんつうんだろう。I'm planning DJ battle
Okay.
for idea to scratch mixes. For planning little DJ school.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, and little marketing.
Yeah.
For scratch DJ.
Right. So we were talking about it earlier, or I was saying earlier, drunkenly, how like to me Vestax was the one brand who completely supported the scratch scene.
Yeah.
Out of all the companies, they're the one who was like ultra focused on the scratch scene, and it shows. Like we're still scratching on Vestax mixers, Vestax turntables. Everybody wants a Vestax MIDI turntable.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a 2000 or a 3000.
Yeah.
When you find one, you're excited and you take a picture and you show all your friends. Like when I find a Handy Tracks in Japan, I'm like, oh my god. Show all my friends. Like it's, yeah, they still are, even though they don't exist, they still are like the brand for us. Yeah. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But growing up in the U.S., like we always had this vision that like the Japanese scratch scene was like this huge, crazy thing. Like even we didn't understand it, we didn't know how it was, but it was like because of Vestax, it was like it was a thing. Like it was a solid idea, if you will. Yeah. All right. So back to the history. So we've got the late 90s. There's a lot of scratching going on. Clearly, like in Japan, there's lots of people scratching. Was there scratch schools, or was there like? Because you were teaching in 2003
Yes.
when you started, but was there already scratch schools before this? People teaching scratching in Tokyo or in Japan in general?
少し作ったのあったそれ以前。
一応だから安南学と
あ
でもまあ少ないですよ。
ベリ
間違いな
ーリトル
く少ないです。
A little bit here and there, like
Not the scratch school, DJing school.
DJing school,
Yeah.
right, mixing and
Yeah.
club DJing
Yeah.
style. Yeah. I see. And then, so then we have the earliest. The next was 98. I forget the time. You were the next oldest, right? Or am I wrong? But when did you start? How did you start? Like how? Because it's interesting. Usually, like people don't it's a weird entry to start scratching. Like somebody has to be like, you can try my turntables, you can try my mixer. It's not something that somebody can just go to 7-Eleven and buy it and test it, you know? So like, how did you first try scratching? Or who told you, or who showed you that like, oh, that's cool, I want to try. Can I try? You know, do you remember
I
this?
effort scratching direct people.
DJ Revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah, Revolution. Revolution.
The direct people.
Yeah. 98, you said it, 98. I remember this.
2000?
Sound bombing 2?
19.
No, it was 98, 99. Sound
maybe
Revolution. It was 90, like Sound Bombing 2.
Yeah.
When he was so clean. So clean. The chirps and the double clicks.
Yeah.
And it was like robot. I remember hearing it and being like, if I could do that, that's it. Like, I'd be the best ever if I could do that. If I could just do those double clicks so clean.
That scratch is revolution, not babu.
Yeah.
Babu is good scratch,
Of course, yeah.
but the scratch is revolution.
Revolution, yeah.
みんなそうですよね。当時
Yeah, those chirps. Dilated peoples. Yeah, I remember this shit. I had the single. I bought the instrumental version, the single record of that. Yeah.
And
But wait a minute.
dope on plastic.
Dope
by
on
Rob
plastic.
Street. Rob Street.
Yeah.
Dope on plastic.
But wait a minute. Before Dope on Plastic, before this, you were listening to hip hop. But when did you start listening to hip hop? How old were you?
何歳からヒップホップ聞いたってことですか 14?
14. And did you just heard it? Or like, did you have a friend who would say like, hey, check this out? Or you know what I mean? Like, how did you get introduced to Dope on Plastic, to Sound Bombing and DJ Revolution? Or
きっかけはどういうきっかけでヒップホップを知ったか
who was the person who was like, listen to this?
My friend.
Because for me, it was always some person that was
brothers.
like, yeah.
My friend's
Older
brothers.
brothers, right?
Yes.
It's always an older brother of someone. It's
Dope on plastic.
Yeah. Dope on Plastic. And then when you first scratched, like who? So you heard that, but then who actually said, "Here's a turntable, try it"? Because that's a big step. From hearing it to trying it is a big step. So how did you first test it?
最初何をしたターンテーブルで
Scratching.
Hmm?
どんなスクラッチを
Transform.
Transform. But how did you even have the equipment to test it? Like who was, because you didn't buy it, right? Like somebody was like, here, try my turntable, try my mixer. Who told you to try it? Or you just bought it?
I bought a turntable in 1999.
And what turntable did you buy?
Technics.
1200.
No.
Direct.
1200
No.
40,000 yen
リサザン
at
薬ですか
Mach 3. 中古で買ったっすよ。
But
Used.
how can you even afford 40,000 yen at this age? Because for me, I had no money at this age. When I was 17, I didn't have 40,000 yen. There's no fucking way.
ジャパニーズお年玉キッズボーナスニューイヤー
Yes.
Explain again. Sorry, I didn't catch it.
なんだろうな
難しい
なんだろうなニューイヤ
Yeah.
ーparents
Yeah, parents for gift for New Year. Okay.
Japanese traditional
うん
event.
Yeah. I
お
see.
年玉 yeah.
Okay. I see.
Japanese kids
Spoiled.
can give lot of money.
Yeah. So then you bought a Techniques 1200?
Techniques and DJ mixer is なんだっけSHDJ.
SHDJ. But what was your first mixer?
ファーストベスタックスのな なんだろうな、ファンクマスターフレックスの
yeah, it had the thing.
あ、yes, yes.
There was an 05 version with the.
そう、トランスフォ
I
ーマー
also, I also had this with the button, the transform button. That wasn't my first mixer, but that was the first mixer where I could learn crabs because I had a sharp fader, and I was like, holy shit, I learned
はい
crabs.
はいはい、yes, yes, yes.
The best. Babu, watch out. Yeah. Uh-oh, doorbell. Good night,
ごめんごめん、なんか今インタビュー
Hey,
させて
welcome.
こんにちは。
You have to join the group. You came in the middle of the interview, so you have to join. So yeah. But what was this Vestax mixer? I tried to explain it to people. It's really hard to find the name of this mixer with the fucking transform button. It was my first cool mixer.
Yes, yes.
Before this, I had the
メロス
Scratchmaster. What was the brand? Gemini Scratchmaster.
あじゃあ
And then I had this mixer, and this mixer I was like, oh yeah,
Yes, yes.
I'm getting real. Like it's real now. I have the Vestax. It has a transform button.
ベリーオールドね。
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
That's-
that's it. PMC 005.
A 005.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I knew it had a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tried to Google it recently, and I couldn't find it.
あー
But I didn't know what I was Googling. I was like, 05 something with the angle. Yeah.
ジャパンセカンドハンドショップたまに見つける。
Oh, if I find one when I'm here, I'm taking it home with me for sure. Yeah, yeah. And then let's talk about that real quick. What was your first turntable and mixer then? But 3 years ago. So you're a whole new generation
最初に買ったミキサー
of scratcher.
いや EX SH
テクニクス
はいテクニクス
あ
SH EX ですっけ
うん、EX。
He bought
A belt
what
drive.
mixer is
Oh no, sorry, mixer.
X Technics EX
EX
SHEX
I don't even know what it is to be honest. Like, it's the one over here? I took a picture of it earlier. Oh no, no.
ガッツフェイスパネル。
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
classic. Yeah. I'm just stupid and I didn't realize the model number. I'm gonna put it in front of the camera there. Yeah. No, that's the classic techniques. The official DJ Championship mixer, if you will. The official. Right. Yeah. I just completely forgot that was the model number. But then, what was your first turntable?
ターンテーブルを
まあ
ターンテーブル
何ですか。
なんだ。
ターンテーブル何
最初の
テクニクスSL1000 マーク5
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
マーク5
Straight into the good shit. Yeah.
He is rich man
A rich man with a model girlfriend.
No.
No. Shh. Who started 3 years ago and is already killing it. You have to move into the camera. I'm sorry, but you can't just enter without moving into the
で、ちょっ
camera.
と、ちょっとやろう
And
か。
what's your name? You have to say your DJ name.
DJ name. My name is DJ Sedam.
Cinema, DJ Cinema. If you didn't
セ
hear
ダム
it.
さんだ
あ、そうなんです。
セダム
Sliding in.
これごといこう。
The late
こ
arrival.
れごといこう。はいはい。
どういう口でも
There we go. Everybody in.
ああ、トニーさんギリギリ OK。うん。
All right, he's in the picture. I see him.
あ、OK OK。
DJ Cinema, welcome.
どういう
When did you start
ごめん
DJing before we go on? Because I'm trying to start early. When did you start scratching and DJing?
全然英語わかんない。
いつ頃
いつ頃スクラッチを
DJ とかスクラッチ始めました。
ああ、23、23歳。
Oh, 23 years?
オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー。
西暦で言うと何年ぐらい？
Watch out, I'm destroying
西
things.
暦で言うと、西暦で言うと、
とか何年？まあ2019
じゃあ2012年ぐらいですね。
2012.
Oh, okay. I thought he was saying 13 years ago. I was like, or 23 years. I was like, okay, he's the winner. Nice. Okay, so back to equipment. Let's go back to you now. What was your first entry into scratching? Like, how did you first get into scratching?
My inspiration first なんだっけビートチャンキーズ
うん。
That's many.
I listen Visionaries record and B-side Beat Junkies team routine including. So, what is scratching? I don't know. But in '98, I saw DMC Japan final videos. Oh,
98.
beat juggling and scratching. I saw
Yeah.
so clearly, this is turntable mixer. Everyone use scratch and mix beat juggling. So yeah, 98 DMC and Visualize 12-inch single.
So then you went. I'm curious because the step from like seeing it and being like that's cool, I want to try it, to like trying it is usually a big step. So like, how did you first actually try it? Did you go straight from like, I see it, that's cool, I'm buying it, or did somebody let you try their equipment or try it first, or how did it work for you?
First equipment.
Straight equipment.
Maybe Vestax 1200 and SH mixer. Yeah.
And then, okay, we'll go back to you since you're the oldest, the OG. So then you had the teacher. But what was you said you learned some chirps and some baby scratches. But how did you go from there? Like, what was the advancement from chirps to baby scratch? How did you learn between that and DMC? Because that's a big step. Like, watching your DMC routine, you're like, okay, here's a guy who knows everything that everyone's doing, and he's doing the same or better. And like, he's well knowledged in what everybody's doing. He knows all the scratches, he knows all the juggles, he knows how to build a routine. How do you go from like learning the basic scratches with one guy teaching you some basic scratches to DMC 2007 winning Japan, you know?
まあターンテーブル TV で
Yeah.
2クリックフレア、モア。
But like, just turntable TV didn't turn you into 2007 Japan winner DMC. So like, what was the growth? Like, how did you? What was those 7 years? Like, that's a long time between seeing turntable TV and becoming DMC winner. And feel free to answer in Japanese, and we can translate it later. Like, I'm curious to know, like, what was your studying like? How were you practicing? How were you learning between this 7-year period? Because it's a big period. What kind of daily routines were you doing? Like, how were you studying between these years? Because it's a big time period.
どうやって練習したかってことでしょ。
どのようにそこまでのステップに上り詰めたかと。
2002
2002 he won DMC Japan battle
チャンピ
飲めと。
Yeah, 2002.
2002バトルスプレマシー、ジャパンチャンピオン、
バトルカテゴリー、
でボーン、
シングルケンタロウ、バトル宮島。
Okay. Okay.
でその間にどうやっ
But
て
what kind of like personal process was he going through? Like,
なんだろうね。
how was because I know you're a crazy. I read your Twitter for the last 2 years,
結構ね、
and I know
30
you're
分ないとやばいね。
extremely studied.
田舎もね
Every day he lives scratching for a very long time. So I'm curious, what was this process like between starting scratching and becoming a DMC guy? What the fuck were you doing? Because you were doing a lot. You had to have been doing a lot. You were spending a lot of time. So what was this? How was this process working?
フレンドね、サイト、ランクはその時は知らなかったか。
Just speak Japanese and don't worry about my English shit. Just like explain in depth in Japanese.
日本語でも言ってから。
日本語でも大丈夫って
みんなで練習していたら、そうなりました。
当時はゼブラレコードとか、パワー DJs とか、ベスタックのショップがあって、オープンターンテーブルがあって、で
The Vestax shop.
いや、いろんな地方からみんなスクラッチが好きな友達が遊びに来てて、でそこで知り合いになって、で、そこで君すごいねとかこう声かけてそれを教えてくれとか、コミュニティができたんです。で、
So my idea was that there was probably a giant community, right? As you said, like from my Western idea of like, you know, Japan's this mystical scratch land with Vestax. My 97 starting scratch was like Japan is this mystical, amazing Japan scratch mecca of like this community with this brand behind them. But was that real? Like there was a community behind it? Because he, I think, learned from this community, right? Like that's what you were saying.
コミュニティができたのは2000年ぐらい。
About 2000.
Yeah,
ジャパ
around
ニーズ
2000.
バトル&スクラッチ DJs サイト、ポンコツターンテーブル。ポンコツターンテーブル。Yeah, ポンコツターンテーブル is for Japanese DJ battle site. Many Japanese
Regions and
北海道、
province,
九州、京都、広島、 東京、many
all battling.
Yeah.
What was the name of this?
ポンコツターンテーブル。Yeah.
ポンコツターンテーブル。
ポンコツターンテーブル。ターンテーブル is
Is there
the
still
site
a
name.
place where you can go and see the like videos or the statistics? Because one thing I found with looking into him, to Miyajima, is like I looked at him, I looked at his Twitter. There's all this stuff I had no idea because of Japanese only Twitter, translations, Fresh TV. Like I didn't know that he had 50 something podcasts. He has like 59 podcasts of talking about scratching and like all these tweets that were like he had a tweet that said, and I wrote it down, but he said 5 years ago I thought I was good, 10 years ago, and now I think I'm good 5 years ago. 5 years from now, do you think you're good, or do you have it now? There was like, reading through his tweets translated, I was like, fucking scratch wisdom, like one after another, and then like 50 something podcasts, but I really had no idea because it was only Japanese, and it was hard to find being from the West, like.
なんだって途中から分かんなかった。
So I'm really curious to open up for the West. Like, what was it like in Japan between 98 and maybe, I don't know, 2000, whatever. But like, because I think that there was a big scene here, a crazy scene that we don't know about. We know about you and Kinwan and all these kind of guys. We know about the famous guys that are on, you know, Thud Rumble things and blah, blah, blah. But we don't really know, like, what was happening in Japan. Like, what was it like living here? And what was the scene like? Like, there was meetups every week. There was meetups every month. There was meetups every day. Like, I don't know, you know, like, I'm really curious about it because I know Vestax was a massive support of all that. And you mentioned the open turntable sessions.
Yeah. ベスタックスのショップがあったのと、あと1999、ベスタックスエクストラバガンザ、very なんて言うんだろうな、それは影響を与えたんです。日本中のスクラッチ DJ にその大会はすごい影響を与えて、ものすごい影響を与えて、でそれを機にベスタックスがものすごい売れて。で機材の進化にもうすごいきっかけになったんです、その時に07プロ、07プロ、born in 1999 next year PDX 2000 born07 ISP そこからなんだよねなんだろうな、そこまではみんなどうやってやっていいかわからなくて、98年97年ぐらいまでにはどうやってやっていいかわからない。
Can I have a little more sake?
酒ね、酒。オッケーオッケーオッケー。
Thank you. Yeah, because like, in a weird way, like again, scratching in Texas, Vestax was like the name, and it because like Vestax was the name, and then Japan, of course, is because of Vestax. Like it was associated. So like, yeah, we always had this picture of like Japan being this scratch mecca of like there's all these guys there that we don't know that are just scratching every day, all day, and this company is like with them, you know, working with them. So I'm curious because you worked at Vestax, like how, and they had the open turntable sessions from '99.
No.
Or from 2000.
2002. I worked at
2002.
Vestax
When you started, you started the turntable session.
I started scratching in 1999. Vestax X. When I saw Vestax X Global
Right.
book on the let's see ISP scratch perverts.
PP break.
Scratch pervert. Yeah.
PP break. Yay.
I also feel like it's okay. PP breaks are okay.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with PP breaks,
そう。
especially when we're drinking those highball tall boys. Yeah. So 2002, you guys started the open sessions.
Yeah, そうだね。
How many people would show up to an open session?
The max is 15 people.
Yeah. And this is in Tokyo.
Even Tokyo, Shibuya.
Yeah, Shibuya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then this 2002. So then, how long were these, or how often were these sessions? Once a month, twice a month, once every whatever. Like, what was the timing?
About one month.
Once a month.
Month event.
Monthly event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monthly event. Notrix DJ battle.
And how long did this last?
続いたの2年ぐらい。2年もないか。
結構溜まってきましたね。
またちょっと
PP break.
A year and a half year.
So like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
ありがとう。
そうなんだよね。図で説明したいけど。
But it was less than a year
ラストイ
or
ヤー。
more.
なんだろうな。去年は。
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
なんだろうな。
In competition?
No, just the sessions, the open. I'm curious about the scratch sessions, like
I know.
the open public sessions.
そういうセッションはどれくらいまでそういうのやってたかってベスさんと見て。だから脳トレの時はずっとやってたん
そうですね。The after Notrix DJ battle,
Yeah.
after time, people come.
Yeah. From Osaka, from Kyoto, from all the other regions.
The audience
Hokkaido.
the audience are all scratch DJ.
Yeah.
で、
Bunch of guys staring, not moving to the
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
脳トレが maybe in 2012 Notrix is end.
It ends.
レコード忘れないようにして
2002 2012
That's a big
これだけ
period.
です。
after battle we are scratching
Right.
なんだ
So then, who was out of famous Japanese DJs? Who were the guys who were at these sessions from the beginning to the end? Like, you know what I mean? Who were the notable names who were coming to these scratch sessions, who were there all the time? Was there anybody who was kind of always there? Obviously, our Scratch Jesus
まあ宮島君もそう。
Miyajima, was there, but like who else was around at the time? You know what I mean? What other names or people were around at the time?
どうだろうな。
なんだろう
いやー。
Is there anybody who was still around, like who were scratching then in early 2000s and is still? Because honestly, from my Western view, I have Kentaro, Kinwan, and Miyajima.
Yeah.
That's like the guys who everyone knows, who I can talk to any other scratch guy, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy. And of course, some newer scratch DJs who are entering battles the last few years. But those are the three names who are like, before I came to Japan, They were like,
どういうもの酒
please. I'm already empty almost.
あ、酒
Oh, wait, I gotta finish it.
Already empty.
Like,
大丈夫かい
before I came to visit,
酒も
誰だろうな
please.
難しい。
Before I came to visit, people were like, you have to talk to Yajima.
誰がすごかった
Miyajima. You have to talk to.
シュン DJ シュン
Yeah, Shin
はい
DJ
from
シュン
Osaka.
No, DJ シュン is
No, Shin. Sorry,
Tokyo.
sorry, Shin,
DJ
not
シュンあ
Shun.
DJ 拓郎DJ コージ DJ コージ is a beast
Koji.
DJ コージ
His appearance in Qbert video.
Okay.
うん
Ken
he,
one.
he is innovator of Infinity Scratch DJ コージ yeah
Okay.
um
Kentaro, Ken one.
ケンタロウケンワン
looks like なんだっけなんだっけ
大ですか。
The microphone is in your face.
looks like 秘密結社何でしたっけ
誰だ秘密結社
秘密結社って何
誰だろうあれかトミー君じゃない
エヴァンゲリオン
Neon Evangelion?
Oh,
Yeah, I know Evangelion.
Yeah.
That was my 15-year-old obsession. Yeah, I know Evangelion. Okay, so back to the Japanese scratch scene. Early 2000s. Vestax is throwing open sessions and battles.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming from different provinces. You have Osaka, Kyoto, blah, blah, blah. All the provinces are coming.
Not only Vestax shop, other shop open
But
turntable.
what were the shops? Like, what were the places you guys would meet? Because Vestax shop is clear, but what were the other places that were like
Power DJs.
Power DJs.
shop.
But Power DJs is still a shop, right?
Yeah.
And I could still go to Power DJs and buy a scratch record? That's the question. For me personally, where do I go buy a fucking Japanese scratch record? Nobody answers me a clear answer. Where do I go buy a Japanese scratch record tomorrow? If I go on Monday afternoon, where do I buy a scratch record that's Japanese? That's not European or American.
Maybe a Power DJs.
Power DJs is the place. Yeah.
2000, 2002, 2002, from 2002 to 2006, 7, DJ Ken1 worked at Power DJ.
One for the camera, man. Taria?
誰や
No, it wasn't me. I don't understand. What's Taria? What's Taria?
どうも
Don't worry. But I gotta know. What's Taria? You gotta go in front of the camera because it's just some asshole talking behind the camera, me, to some random person. Because I'm never on the camera. They don't know what I look like. You gotta go in front of the camera, man. Taria?
誰や
What's Taria? Nobody help me. What's Taria?
Everybody
何針
誰や
あ
どうすか
What's Taria?
針僕はあんまり引っかかってない知らない
I'm gonna translate it later. So.
Taria is Japanese.
My favorite is
Needle.
Sure
Taria
Yes.
is sax.
447
Taria sax.
447. But it doesn't exist anymore, right? M447.
Which deck open sure
But the M447, it's no more. You gotta buy Jinko,
Zico.
チンコ
Yeah.
right? Not the pants, but the.
What's it?
なんか
What do you
英語
say?
頑張れ
チンコ
Chinko means penis.
Ah!
Dick.
Lost in translation. No. But the
Zico.
the replacement for the M447 is a company JNCO.
JNC ジコ
Thank you. Anyways.
ジコ
Yeah,
Not a
Jinko.
chinko.
But what are you making over there? You're making a timeline. Let's see the timeline. Put it in front of the camera.
Vestax.
Vestax timeline. If you can read it. 05 Pro, 07 Pro.
This zone is peak of
the samurai.
Japanese scratch scene.
My friend has a
Yeah.
samurai.
Yeah.
My German friend. Shout out to Arnhem Hollywood. He's got the samurai. Okay, so back to all the other stuff. So Japanese scene is really strong between 98 2003. It's very strong.
No.
Am I wrong?
Still
2004?
2004?
Because Vestax, in my mind, is pushing it.
Yeah.
They're throwing battles. You're helping throw the battles. You're helping throw community events.
そうだよね。
So then who, from after Vestax stops because of their company situation, who's the new community? Because I know you're teaching and you're offering teaching Skype and everything, and you're having the podcast, but who's the community after Vestax?
誰だろうな。
ないと言えばないもんね。
ないんだよね。
Go there! You gotta go there! No,
Stop
you gotta go there! Fuck you!
I love rain
Go over
more
there.
than Vestax.
Oh! you heard it from the Japanese voice first. He loves rain
I'm
more
sorry.
than Vestax.
I am Vestax, but more.
More rain. It's okay, you should.
I
It's
love
okay. Go in
rain
front of
more
the
than-
camera and say it.
I love rain.
I also love rain
Yes.
and Vestax.
My best is rain.
Similar. I mean, I own rains and I love them. Oh, we have a new instrument. No, come inside. Don't be scared.
変なことになってます。
Hey!
Hey,
Come, 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 come! Hey!
寒いんで風邪ひいちゃうんで。
Don't let her close the door.
大丈夫です、大丈夫です。
Vestax.
If I'm
全然
distracted
OK、
right
大丈夫
now.
です、全然。
Rain.
Rain so good.
みんなちょっとね、ちょっとお酒飲んで大丈
Come, 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 come,
ごめん
come.
ごめん。なんかすごい。
Don't be scared.
うん。
Come on. It doesn't
夫。
matter.
OK、大丈夫、大丈夫です。本当に大丈夫。
There's nothing official going on. Please join the couch. Don't hide. I'm gonna turn the camera towards you, just so they know you're
逃げ
leaving.
た、逃げた。
Open the door!
あ、今ブーツ脱いでる。
いやちょっとやばいな。変なことになってしまった。
I also love rain. Okay, so community Tokyo after Vestax.
After Vestax, almost Tokyo scratch scene
Die down. But to be fair, before I came, I asked Jeremy from Beat for Battle. I asked Antrix from Battle Lab. I asked Yoshi, a scratch
あ、
friend.
そうか。
I asked I asked 6 people. I'm going to Japan. Who do I talk to about scratching? Everybody said, I'm gonna put my finger in the right over there.
なんか
On the left there. Everybody said he is the hub of Tokyo Scratch. So what happened between Vestax and now? Like, where's this? Because I see Japanese guys entering DMC. I see Japanese guys in IDA. And there's some really, to be fair, there's some really, what's the word? Fresh ideas. Because especially with IDA, there's guys entering with this like crazy, ultra fast Japanese pop sounding. Maybe I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm guessing Japanese pop sounding like crazy scratch styles and routines that to the Western ear were like, what the fuck? but very technical and like clearly very very good. And interesting. So I'm curious what happened between Vestax exiting and now. Like what's the scene like? What happens in Japan and what happens in Tokyo? Like how did this happen to now? What happened?
なんだろう。
健太郎くんが DJ スクール初めて言ってたっけな。
結構最近っす
そう
よね。、
あ、そっか。
あとはもう
その前に千代さんがやってたんだっけな。
Because you have the clear, like Kentaro's doing DMC showcases, Ken One's doing showcases. That's clear, but those showcases are very DMC typical, if you will. But then when you see the IDA and DMC entries, you're like, that's something different. So it has to come from somewhere. It's something different than like the typical, because it's not typical. Like when you look at IDA, German, Polish, whatever country, they're all very similar, if I may say. But then the Japanese ones are always like, well, that guy's doing some. First thing, his sound is different. His style of music is different. Very different. But it's clear that he's very fucking skilled. So, where does that come from? Like, where does this newer generation style in the last maybe 3 or 4 years come from? I don't know. Like, who's with these guys? Who's hanging out with these guys? Who's teaching these guys? How does this happen? Like, do you know? I don't know.
After DJ Hanga, DJ Kentaro, they use many genre of music.
Right. Many genres.
Yeah.
Because there's like
that is I think that is Japanese size. 当時ね。
当時？
当時その当時だからなんて言ったらいいんだろう。
当時 like mix of
at that time.
At that time.
At that time. Sorry.
当時 means at that time.
At that time.
そうだね。なんかヒップホップだけ使ってたですね。その DJ ハンガーと DJ ケンタロウっていう人がいて、その
It's
人
like the kind of peak of hip hop backpack style. Maybe, no? Right? Yeah. But now you have the newer influence.
I know. Maybe Kirik breaking hip hop style.
Yeah.
These guys play drum and bass and bass music.
Yeah. They're switching to the like popular whatever styles in the clubs, the EDM, the whatever style happens to be popular and wherever they're trying to play, right?
So maybe late 2000 breaking and mixing hip hop and many music culture.
Right.
So
the three style influence.
Yeah, every influence in Japan.
Right.
So
please translate what he just said.
多分大丈夫ですね。
I'll translate later, but I want to know now.
Okay.
まだ大丈夫ですね。
What did he say?
He's go back to home.
Very far.
Yeah, get in the fucking camera.
I must go to my work.
You can't. No. Tomorrow's work. It's only 9 o'clock. Are you a woman?
No,
Okay, so sit in the couch with the boys.
Japanese don't have time.
Yeah, I know. Japanese and Americans, hardest working.
Yes.
So go sit on the
So
couch
hardest
because
working.
I'm American.
Do you
And I
like
still-
Japanese? So credit training.
Although we have been drinking. The guy who's not on camera right now. We've been drinking highballs. You gotta sit on the couch.
いや、多分そんなにいるはずなんだけど。
Come to my
風邪ひいちゃう。
I'm here for 5 more days. Let's do it. Let's hang out.
まあ、入ってこの感じだけど。
ちょっとね、
ちょっとね、
I must go to work.
どっか行っちゃった。
Everybody works 9 to 5. Anyways, back to the podcast. Okay, sorry. Community, Tokyo. After Vestax, we have what we have. Okay, so you started teaching 2003, and how did this? Like you started passing out flyers. 2003, there was no Facebook so much. There was none of this like social media shit. So you were just passing out flyers. And is there anyone who you started teaching in 2003, maybe to 2000 whatever, who became a big name in DJ or scratch Japan style?
そろそろ帰った方がいいですね。そろそろ帰った方がいい。
ゴーバック雄一だな。
I must go back.
Okay. But you have to say goodbye to this camera. Because the other camera...
カメラにさよならをお願いします。
The other camera is no more. The other camera is no more. This is the only backup camera now. This camera died. And my microphone.
Yeah.
忘れ物ないですか？
It was a good time.
I'm gonna bother
まとめで
you
大丈夫
on
ですか
Facebook
さっ
tomorrow.
き一応します。
I'm gonna send you lots of messages while you're at work.
Please send me.
I'm gonna destroy you at work.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. I understand. Okay, sorry. So back to the Tokyo community. So you started teaching in 2003. How many students did you have the first year?
最初や
最初の年は何人ぐらい生徒さん？
13
It's quite a lot. It's a lot. That's a big
多い
group.
のか少ないのか
ああ
And out of these 13 people, who is still scratching? Who is still showing up?
今
And
でもその教えた人が
ああ no 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 no
yeah, but no one out of the first 13. Is there one guy who is still scratching?
なんだって
ん
まあまあまあ
Out of the first students, the first year, 13 people or whatever it is, who is still scratching? Is there anyone in this first group who is still scratching?
なんかその最初始めた人でまだ続けてる人は
ああまあまあまあリトル
うん
So there's some people. How many?
何人ぐらい
ワンは2
And then with the scratching teaching, because you're still doing it, 2018. So it's 15 years. You're teaching scratching in Tokyo. How many students do you think you've had complete, like in total?
何人ぐらい教えたかって
3 or 400
Yeah. And if you had to say a percentage of these 400, how many continue? Because from me and my friends, we always quit. Somebody always quits sometime and they start again. But out of this group, what percentage keep scratching?
10%.
Yeah. Makes
He
sense.
is 9
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
years.
Okay, so out of the group who is here tonight, who is a student of Miyajima? But only him?
No. No student.
No students here tonight. Okay. And with the teaching, like I started reading your Twitter translated version, if you will. So I started every tweet. I have to click on it. I have to translate, read, and I started going through for the past 2 years. But I really feel like I know a few people in my life who every single day their life is scratching, and you're like the 5th person out of hundreds of scratchers I know who every single day is clearly scratching. And like, I don't even know what the question is, but you're living it. Like, this is your house.
No house near
You live
house.
next door. Okay. I was curious about this. If you're sleeping here. Because I was like, no, because I was wondering, I was like, if he's sleeping here, this motherfucker is deep in the scratch. Deep in the scratch. If I didn't have a wife and a baby, I would live here. No problem. I sleep right there. I sleep there. It's fine.
Here is Rabo.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. I was like, is this his house or is it scratch special? Okay. But it seems to me like you're the kind of the, I don't even know the word for it. Like, there's a few people I've met in across the places I've traveled, like Europe and Asia and America, who literally every single day it's scratching. It's only scratching. Like, it's scratching. It's what it is. And from reading, to be honest, like, I don't know you. We talk quickly on Instagram. and I read your tweets, and your tweets made me go, oh shit, day 599 of scratch practice. And to be honest, the first second I saw this, I thought, yeah, but that's like nothing in his life of scratching. It's when he decided to say day 1. Before that, it was day whatever, 1,000, it doesn't matter. But like, I'm curious, kind of, I don't know, what do you think the next 10 years of Tokyo scratching is? Because right now, my idea of it is only because I've only been here for 2 days. My idea of it is the guys I've met here and the guys I've talked to online. And there's a lot of guys, and it's stronger than some countries I've been, for sure, without a doubt. But like, what is the future of Japanese scratching to you?
10年先ぐらいどうかも。
Because you are, in my mind, the person who is, and maybe I'm wrong, but maybe the person who is teaching the new guys, the 13-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, the 17-year-old people, how to do a baby scratch and how to do a flare, and maybe their inspiration, if you will. There's the obvious guys who are in the DMC videos and all that, but there's the people who are actually doing the work, who are doing the sessions online, or the come to my place and stand here. And I think you're probably, from my perspective, the person who is doing the come to my place and stand here. Meet me at the Family Mart and come here. And so like, what is it like now? And what do you think it is in the future for the Japanese scratch scene?
どう考えてどうなると思いますか?
It's a big question. It's a big question. Like yeah, I don't know.
人口が少なくなってるからな。あとね、興味を持つものの選択肢が増えすぎちゃってるから。
Because honestly, like if I talk to other people, I would ask, what is your situation, maybe, or what's your plan for the next years? But I feel like with you, it's not what your plan is, but what is the plan for Tokyo? Or what's your plan for Japan? Like, what is the current feeling, and how do you think it will be in the future? Yeah. Take your time, please. We drink more sake. We take our time. I still have a little bit. Very little bit.
じゃあ焼酎ね。
Oh, yes.
大丈夫かエリックさん。飲みすぎてないか？僕も飲みすぎてるけど。
And we have all the time in the world, and please
Too much drink.
answer slowly in Japanese. Take your time.
Okay.
Don't worry about English. And
No problem.
take your time, because it's a big question. Yeah.
だけど、
なんですよね。
To give you time to think. My perception from coming from Europe, I would say more Europe than America, because my American scratch experience is learning, and my European scratch experience is like learning from others, or like observing others more. And my European experience from knowing you from videos and what people think is that, like, this is the guy who is more experimental, more teaching, and maybe influencing the local scene more than others maybe, while others may be influencing more the international scene, maybe on because of DMC and all that. But like, this is the person who's putting in the local perspective and the local work. Yeah. So I'm curious what's going on locally more than like IDA DMC battle version of it. Because you see these guys that are like entering the DMC IDAs, and they're like, they have a completely different style than anybody else. Music selection, scratching style, everything. Scratching style is extremely technical, very clean, very precise. Juggle everything, very precise, very clean. And like, they're not trying to play the Western pop shit. They're like, fuck that. I'm playing the Japanese pop shit. Right? Like with IDA, with DMC, like from the Western perspective, we're like, what the fuck are they playing? But they're extremely good at what they're doing, and you can't. I don't know the music, but you can't argue with what they're doing. What they're doing is very strong. So I don't know. That's my perspective. I might be wrong.
In my opinion, maybe DJ, binary youth DJ, maybe kids and old guys. So
kids with old guy dads.
Playing binary. So like action sports scene. BMX,
skateboarding. I see that for sure. The kind of X Games style.
Same style, maybe.
Yeah, but like I forget his name. I'm gonna look him up so I don't fuck it up. Who was it that won IDA last year? Do you remember?
Japanese champ.
Yeah, I forgot his name. It starts with a Y.
IDA はあれじゃない？ケースウィズレナ。
Tyoshi? No, Tyoshi was... So like Tyoshi. Murderous scratcher. So good. So clean. Where's Tyoshi from?
He's from Chiba.
Yeah, he's from a small place. So like Tyoshi, like, how did fucking Tyoshi... Because he's from a tiny place, right? There's no one else scratching there, really. Maybe. Like, where did this guy learn? Because I feel like he must be influenced. Because my perception, again, I don't live in Japan, I don't know. My perception is that Tokyo influences the rest of Japan. Maybe not, but my perception is scratching or whatever it is. Because if, for example, being a tourist here and being into video games, I was like, okay, Akibara, blah, blah, blah. But then, and when I'm in Osaka, people are like, well, the Akibara version ended in town. Because they always compare it to the Tokyo version. So, like, I'm curious. Like, Tyoshi kills it. Like, where did Tyoshi learn from? You know what I mean? Like, because he's from a small town.
剛くんはどうやってこう上手くなったかっていう。なんだろうな。
剛くんね、生徒だったんですか？ケンワ君の。違うよ、違います。
ケンワ君の生徒。もっとはといえば。
ケンワンスチューデンツ、剛。
Kewan.
He
didn't spill anything. Professional, extremely clean Japanese. If you will see. Right. Okay, so back to the original question after the PV break. Current Japanese scratch scene. Current Japanese. Where does it come from? Because we know like him and a lot of us are from that 99 2000 era, right? But you are the new school. So like, where does the new school come from? Where is the influence for the new school Japanese scratching?
何に影響を受けた？
Where did you go? Oh shit! I want to do that.
日本のどなたの誰だ？
そうですね。ジャパニーズだと宮島インスピレーション。
But let me ask you, because you started 3 years ago. When did you first go? Oh, scratchy.
My friend. 最初にスクラッチを見たのは、レッドブル3スタイル。
ああ、3スタイル。
レッドブル3スタイル、エントリー、my friends.
Sorry? I get one.
His friends entry the Red Bull 3 styles.
Okay.
So
Freestyle.
first
Yeah.
inspiration.
I have to pee so bad. Okay, can you explain how you entered scratching, how you first tried it, and who let you try it first while I pee?
最初に何を試したのって。でも
ト
トイレ
イレね。オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー。ゴー。
トイレって言わないで考えといてって。
これはちょっとなかなかすごいことが出てしまった。大石さんごめん。これはもう死亡です。
死亡です。
そしてヒロさん死亡だな。これどこ行ったか
まあとりあえず連絡だけした方がいいですよね。
まあすいませんね。
結構歴史を振り返るみたいな
そう
感じだったんだ。
だからベスタックスが衰退してから10年どうなったかということが聞きたいんだよね。きっと
ね、失われた何年みたいな知りたいわけでしょ。
歴史の。
わかる。
やっと今僕のターンに来ました。
そう。自分で答えてください。
Anything you say, I will translate later. Just so you know.
でもね、YouTube が出てからが大きいよね。
ああ、確かに。
僕はもう完全に動画で全部。
YouTube とかさ、ミクシーとかでさ、みんな動画上げてさ。
2007年ぐらいが結構ターニングポイントみたいな。
2004年ネットフリングスが来てから死んだんだよね、日本のスクラッチ。死んだっていうか、一回こう、おとなしくなってね。
行きます。そうです。
Okay, back to the podcast. So we have the new school generation. So what, because you said he inspired you. So how did you first even know about him or hear about him? What was the first time you were like, oh, that guy?
今のは
ワンモア。
それ。それワンモアクエクション。
Yeah. What was the first time? Because you said you were excuse me. You were inspired by him. However, before the inspiration, you had to. When was the first time you heard him, or what was the initial like? Oh, that's interesting. The scratching sound. You know, what was the first spark, the first idea that entered your head to try scratching?
全然わかんない。斉藤さん。
やばいなとかって思ったスクラッチでそれをやろうとしたのはなんだみたいな、誰だみたいな。
ジャパニーズスクラッチャーってことですよね。
そう。
DJ 宮島、剛、健和、
This video on YouTube.
YouTube.
This like 1.5 minute video.
YouTube. そうね、YouTube.
I know this video, but how did you see this video? Or you just come across it, like, you know? How did you first find this video? Because I know this video because I subscribed to Scratch. But how did somebody who didn't know scratching see this video? I know this video very well. If you look on my phone, history, this video, for sure.
Scratch, tutorial, search.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
Japanese SNS Mixi in born 2003, 4. And YouTube changed the Japanese scratch scene.
I think YouTube changed a lot of scratch.
Yeah.
Because
especially Japan, Vestax down, but Japanese battle scenes down. Japanese scratch is down 2004, 2007. Yeah. The fan, YouTube born.
Yeah. Become popular.
Many SNS born. Yeah. Instagram. Twitter. Many people upload scratching.
Right.
How to tutorial.
Yeah.
And all the scratchy battle scene uploaded.
Right.
The people like him. Oh man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I changed my mind. Oh yeah.
So Instagram, I'm curious because I noticed like.
Not Instagram.
Well, bothering-
that YouTube and Vimeo.
Yeah, because bothering him on Facebook, you on Instagram, and I noticed that your Twitter is extremely like your Twitter is every single day, every other day. Because at first I was like trying to find you. I was like, we should ask him. Okay, Instagram, he's there. Facebook, no. Twitter, he's super there. He's super there. Like I can find out what he's thinking every 2 days on Twitter. And Fresh TV. So shout out to Fresh TV. Like
殺さず出したの何年ぐらいですか
4年ぐらいです。
2004 he released a tutorial video.
so that's what I was gonna ask you. So that 2004 I have here Scratch Technique DVDs.
Yes.
You've had 3?
3.
The first one but what about before or maybe before Turntable Colossus?
Yeah,
2004, right?
Yes.
持ってんだ次やばいね
That's my first idea of you. My first idea of your name was Turntable Colossus. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And then I started looking you up and I was like, okay, he's teaching scratching. 2005, I look your name, I Google and I look and I'm like, okay, this guy's teaching scratching in Tokyo. And I saw some video. I didn't see a video until the DMC. My first exposure to you being a Westerner was DMC. But I knew your name before DMC because of the Turntable Colossus and like looking for you. I was like, the fuck is this fucking guy? But myself, I was an investigator. Like if I heard, I was listening. Do you remember Turntable TV? No, sorry, not Turntable Radio.
Yes.
UK.
Laurent.
Yeah, Laurent and Mr. Trick. So shout out to them. I'm trying to revive their show, by the way. I sent them emails last week about reposting their show on Podcast Network. Anyways, so those guys were the first guys I heard about you from. And because of Turntable Colossus, they were like, this is from Turntable Colossus. I was like, Turntable Colossus, what the fuck is that? It's a cool name. And I look it up. And then I saw your DVD 2004 maybe. Your first DVD.
3 or 5ね。
2003.
First VHS. Next DVD.
Yeah, so I know of 3.
3 or 4.
Okay, I only knew 3. And that was 2000 maybe 3 to 2007. Yeah, but so there's a quote I found on a scratching book from Mark Katz, an American who was visiting Tokyo in 2008. And I'm going to read the quote, and you might need to translate it. The quote was, DJ Miyajima, somewhat a purist, says when he scratches, he only used the word ah because he finds fresh too complex. And there was a book called Groove Music. And you're quoted in it, 2008. So clearly tonight you scratched off for like 1 second and the rest was But I'm curious what changed between 2008 Miyajima to now from your perspective on scratching. Like how do you think you've evolved from 2008 to 2018? Maybe you can translate it if need be.
とにかく僕のこと今褒めてるよね。
そう2008年からこ
It's a very deep question.
まあ2018年の間に
その間どうしてたかってことを
何を考えてたかみたいな。
なんだろう
ね、結構変わらない生活をしてたもんね。
そうそう。
でも言うとも酒
酒いけないディスこれこれちょっと僕まだ入ってるあいやノットチェンジね16
But you need some for you as well.
はいいけ
And you have the same?
僕まだ入ってるはいまだ入ってるはいどうも押すノットチェンジ
Not change his
そう
lifestyle. Keep scratching, keep practicing, decade.
But so what happened in the last 10 years in your scratch life?
なんかって分けて
10年間でなんか変わったことあった
か
スクラッチライフ
I don't know ノットチェンジよ
What do you think? Let's just go back 2015 because your quote from Twitter was 5 years ago I thought I was good 10 years ago. Now I think I'm good 5 years ago.
Yes.
So 10 years ago, what was your life like in scratching?
どうかなまあでもmore practice only more
Okay,
practice
so let me think about this because in my perspective for work, what are you doing for work? How are you paying for your flat?
何ワンマン
How do you pay for your life with like what's your daily income? I don't know. Can you translate for me?
Daily work?
Yeah.
Something?
How does he pay for his life? Like, because my perspective is he's like super scratch guru, every day 10-hour scratch. But how do you live? How can you pay for that? How can you support that?
そのどうやって生活しているかみたいな。
まあディスプレイスで teach DJ only
Only teaching DJ. That's really cool.
Scratch school. Only scratch.
So then, in 2018, how many students have you had? Because we're early in the year 2019. Sorry, we're in February.
今何人ぐらい
We're only 2 months into the year. How many students do you have?
50ぐらい40から50ぐらい
40 to 50.
Okay, 40 to 50. So to be honest, very fucking lucky students. Because to be real,
lucky ですね。
because I feel very lucky because I've had someone teach me to scratch who was like a big brother, family member he's always a level that I can't reach. I don't know how to translate it maybe, but so I feel very lucky to have that and like
I see.
Someone who's teaching me who's always like somewhere that I'm like that's impossible. And when I reach the impossible, he's somewhere else above.
ファミリーじゃなくてもこう教えてもらえるっていうのがちょっと昔と違うというか。なんていうか。
But to be honest, I'm surprised that you have 40 to 50 students. Everywhere I visited in Europe or America, or I mean Asia, I've only been Thailand and Hong Kong, but like it's surprising that there's that many people, that there's that big of a number.
そうか。そうなんだよね。なんていうの
But that's really cool. It's really good. That's inspirational to know that.
通信も含めてですもんね。
そうですそうです。
Yeah. That's really cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
So,
Nice.
The future of Japanese scratching. What does it exist? We have the future right here.
Future.
This motherfucker.
He is the future.
You tell him a combo and he goes, oh wait, what was it? Oh, here it is. No problem. No, but I guess what is, in your perspective, Out of your students, maybe, what percent is under 20 years old?
20歳以下ってどれぐらい？
リトル。
What do you think is the larger age range of the students that you have right now?
何歳以上が多いですか
？30 over.
Yeah. Because I feel like myself, a student of the 90s, you're at an age where you can really learn. You can care and you can try more than you could when you were a younger kid and you didn't give a fuck and you were like trying to kiss girls and finger bang girls and like you're more worried about other things in life. And I wonder how many of us exist in the under 20 age. And how many of us are coming in the future? Are we on a slope up? Are we on like a sideways slope? Are we going down? I don't know, you know? I'm not so sure. In some countries I've been, I feel like we're going down. Some countries I've been, we're going up. And I'm curious, like, in Japan, are we going up? Are we going sideways? Are we going down?
Japan down.
Sideways. It's up and down. A wave. Which is good. That's honestly good. That's good. It's better than 100% down. Some places are 100% down. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have any more questions.
Okay.
I wrote some stuff down, but it doesn't matter at this point. Yeah, your idea about the thing. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Yeah, I just wanted to get a feel of the Japanese scratch scene. Because from my perspective, it was huge with the Vestax era. And then maybe it not died, but it got smaller. And there was these new guys that were doing new things with new music that we weren't used to in the West. Like, every Japanese set from IDA and DMC, people I know who were DMC winners were like, what the fuck are they playing? But I like it because it's different. Nobody else is doing it, and they're doing what they do well. So it's not like a bad. We have a new entry. Just my face.
もうみんな
すごい状態ですね。
すごいのね。インタビューで。
No, don't be sorry.
He's a
帰り
DJ
道
lunch.
でしょ。
え
帰り道。
帰り道です帰り道です
うん
あすごいすごいこれどういう状態ですかこれ
でインタビューが来ていた。でもうエリックさんもナイスすぎてちょっと飲みすぎてるわ。
マジですかやばいですね
僕もだけど。
So
あ
yeah,
俺さっきちょっと配信見てましたよ
I think
俺
that's
はい
it's probably a good way to end it.
イエーイ。
ねチューツ。
イエーイ。じゃあちょっともうね。
Thank
インタビュ
you,
ーじゃあ終わって。
thank you for explaining to me
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
Japanese
フレンドフレン
scene
ド。
for the last
はいフレンドフレンド。オッケー。
15, 20 years.
北海道
オッケーオッケ
そう
ー。